All right, let's talk about something we use every single day but almost never think about: system software. This is the powerful, totally hidden foundation that makes our computers, actually work. Think of it as this invisible team running the entire show every second of every day.
Have you ever stopped to think about it? You click an icon, a program opens up. It feels instant, almost like magic, right? But behind that one simple click, there's this huge coordinated effort going on. It's this whole team of software working at lightning speed. To really get our heads around it, we need a better way to picture it.
So let's try an analogy. Imagine your computer isn't just a box of wires and chips, but it's actually a super complex, high-tech building. All your apps, your browser, your games, your music player, they're the residents living and working inside. And the system software, well, that's the invisible management team, making sure the lights stay on, the plumbing works, and everything is safe and running smoothly.
So here's our tour of this digital building. First, we're going to meet the entire management team. Then we'll get an introduction to the big boss, the operating system. After that, we'll check in with the specialist support crews who handle maintenance and installations. We'll even see how the building gets upgraded over time. And finally, we'll talk about why this whole invisible foundation is so incredibly important.
Okay, so first up, the manager. Every great building needs a manager, right? In our digital world, that's the operating system, or just OS for short. It's the master coordinator, the absolute brain of the whole operation.
And when I say it's the brain, I mean it's involved in everything. The OS is the core software that has its hands in all of it, from the physical computer parts to the apps you're using to where your files are stored, all the way to the very screen you're looking at right now.
So, what's on this manager's daily to-do list? Well, it juggles all the resources, deciding which app gets to use the processor, kind of like a building manager deciding who gets electricity and when. It handles all the memory, giving programs a space to work. It organizes the entire file system, which is basically the building's floor plan. And it provides the user interface, the windows and icons we click on, which we call a GUI, or sometimes just a text-based command line. It's pretty much the front desk for the entire building.
But here's its most important job, its biggest secret: abstraction. The OS performs this kind of magic trick. It takes all the messy, super complicated hardware stuff, the raw code, the circuits, the ones and zeros, and hides it all from you. It creates this simple, clean interface so you don't have to worry about the chaos under the hood. You can just click.
Now, even the best manager can't do it all alone. The OS relies on a bunch of specialist crews to handle really important specific tasks. So let's meet them.
First up is our maintenance crew, which we call utility software. Think of antivirus as the 24/7 security team patrolling the hallways. Backup software? That's your insurance policy, making copies of everything in case of a disaster. File compression tools are like storage optimizers, neatly packing things away to save space. Defragmentation acts as an efficiency expert, tidying up the storage so you can find things faster. And encryption? Those are your privacy guards, scrambling your data so no one else can read it.
Okay, but what happens when you bring something brand new into the building? Let's say you buy a new printer. You plug it in. But how does the building manager, the OS, know what to do with it? It doesn't speak printer out of the box. It's going to need some help.
And that's where we see the big difference between our two main support crews. Over on the left, you've got the maintenance crew, our utilities. They work on the existing building, keeping it clean and efficient. But over on the right, you have the specialist installers. We call these device drivers. Their entire job is to connect new appliances and teach the manager how to talk to them. So a device driver is basically a translator. It's this tiny, specialized piece of software that speaks two languages perfectly: the language of your operating system and the language of your new gadget, whether it's a printer, a webcam, or a fancy graphics card. It's the crucial little bridge that lets new hardware become a seamless part of the building.
Of course, no building can stay the same forever. To stay safe, modern, and efficient, it needs regular upgrades and renovations. And in the world of system software, this is happening all the time.
This is exactly why you get those system update available notifications. They're not just annoying pop-ups, they are absolutely essential renovations for your digital building. They fix bugs, which is like patching leaky pipes. They address security vulnerabilities. That's like reinforcing all the locks on the doors. And sometimes, they even add brand new features, kind of like building a new gym for all the residents to use.
But sometimes the renovations get way more advanced. Take something called a virtual machine. This is wild. It's like building a completely self-contained, high-tech, sealed-off room inside your main building. You're basically running a whole other computer inside your computer.
So how does that even work? Well, first, your system software carves out a safe, isolated space, a sandbox. Then, inside that space, you can install a totally separate operating system. Now, why would you do that? It's perfect for testing out weird new software you don't trust or for visiting a sketchy website. If anything goes wrong inside that virtual room, it can't escape and harm the main building at all. It is the ultimate safe space to experiment.
So we've met the manager, we've met the specialist crews, and we've seen how the building gets renovated. All of this brings us back to the biggest question. Why does any of this invisible stuff even matter?
Well, it all comes back to that one powerful idea we talked about earlier, abstraction. The entire reason this huge, complex system of software exists is to create a simple layer between you and the mind-bogglingly complicated hardware that's actually doing the work.
So the next time you click an icon and a window just pops up, take a second to remember that invisible team. The manager, the security guards, the translators, the renovation crew, they are all working together in perfect harmony, managing insane amounts of complexity, all for one single reason: to make your digital life feel simple and effortless.
And that kind of leaves us with one final thought to chew on. As our devices get smarter and more connected with AI and the Internet of Things, what new jobs will this invisible team have to learn? What kind of specialist crews are we going to need for the digital buildings of tomorrow? It really just goes to show you how important this invisible foundation will always be.